Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Good?
Just getting over the siren stopping
Yeah,
outside.
I'm a bit giddy after that, I'm not going to lie. It was a sign. So none of you will understand what we're talking about. Basically, just before I hit record, the siren that was sounding outside stopped sounding. So it was like, it's fate.
Yeah.
Because the internet wants us to do this recording today. So.
Nice.
How are you, Ed?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, good?
Yeah.
What have you been playing this week?
It's a hectic few days. I've been
A few days?
playing all sorts of bits and pieces, but one of the things I've been focusing on is a much debated game. Many people love to hate it or hate to love it. No, yeah, one of those two. The Division.
Excellent.
Patch. The reason I've been playing it is every time they do a new patch, I like to
1.7 that dropped.
Yeah, I like to dip in and have a bit of a play around, see what they changed, see what new bits they've added. And yeah, 1.7 came out last week.
That's pretty cool. See, I like the Division.
Yeah,
like it's not a.
The game itself. This is one of the things. Every time I go back to it, because I take such long breaks between each patch, because I invariably play it for like a week or so and then get bored. But yeah, every time I go back, I'm like, actually, I enjoy playing this game. It's a fun game to play. Like the core mechanics, gameplay mechanics, I really like. I mean, I know a lot of people out there probably maybe aren't so keen on the third person cover shootery thing. I know some people.
I love it.
Yeah, but it's they kind of really nailed that aspect of it for me. Yeah, and it's an enjoy, and just the world, like the world that they created, the kind of ruined New York, which I think we kind of touched on last week briefly.
I think that's the best part of it for me. Like the fact that it is almost a like-for-like replica of New York City, but just like post-apocalyptic. It's great. Yeah,
and done like phenomenally well. It's very atmospheric.
We played that survival patch actually for a little bit, didn't we?
Yeah. Survival.
What was that?
Survival
1.5, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was about that.
Or could have even been 1.4.
Yeah, I can't remember.
That was a pretty cool concept, sort of.
Yeah, that was probably this time last year, actually.
Yeah, it was. That was very reminiscent of Battleground, PlayerUnknown.
Yeah, what is now
sort of drops you into PUBG, a map with like a gun and a jacket, and you have to go scavenge. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it just makes for like really tense games. Like the games last for the survival games last for up to an hour because you're actually on a timer.
Yeah.
Because you kind of the premise if you don't know Division and survival and stuff, the premise of the survival mode is you're kind of been sent into like a highly infected area, but on your way in, like your helicopter crashes and like it tears a hole in your suit and you get infected. So you've basically got an hour before you die. So you have to
go find a cure, don't you?
Yeah, you have to like gear up enough to be able to get into like the next zone of the map to get to the extraction point and then defeat a boss to get extracted.
It's not the dark zone, was it?
Yeah, you have to get into the dark zone.
Is it called the dark zone? Yeah. I couldn't remember what it was
called.
You
have to
get into the dark zone and then kill
a hunter.
A hunter, yeah.
Which,
that's the hardest part. Like, I think I've only ever done that once.
Yeah, because you have to be. Yeah, that's the thing. You have to craft and scavenge to get enough high enough level gear to be able to take on the hunter boss at the end of it. Yeah, and it makes it really intense, especially if you go into the PvP version, which means other players can just shoot you in the face and that's game over.
That doesn't sound. That doesn't sound appealing. No, nothing.
I enjoyed the PvP one. So it made it even more intense.
That was the worst part about going into the dark zone. Anyway, tell me about
1.7. 1.7 came out. So there was no. The big thing, there was a bit of, let's say it was when Division hit its first anniversary at the beginning of the year, and they were kind of like they did their big year 2 stream. It's fair to say it was a little bit underwhelming. Like for me personally, I was hoping that we might finally see some story expansions, some actual new missions, story-based missions to continue the story of the game, which was actually really good, and I enjoyed, and it had like where they left it, like there's a lot of scope to move it forward. But no, they didn't do that. What they announced instead was just a couple of free updates of just kind of various bits and pieces. The first one of those now being 1.7, which has added the big addition that they're sort of talking up is weekly global events. So it kind of launched last week with the weekly global event called Outbreak, which affects the whole map, every activity you do on the map, whether that be missions, like replayable missions. There are 3 levels of Outbreak. You can just play it on normal Outbreak, which is where when you headshot an enemy, like the head explodes and spreads infection to surrounding enemies and gives you increased headshot damage.
Okay.
Severe Outbreak. Was it severe next? Or was it critical, severe? One of the two. I can't remember which way around it is. There's severe. I think it's critical. Yeah. Either way around. The next one up means you can't be within a certain distance of enemies, otherwise you start taking damage. Which is actually really fucking difficult, as it turns out, because a lot of the maps are quite close quarters, and as soon as the range that they start infecting you is significant, and you have to either run away or be on higher ground to avoid the enemies. So it does actually ramp up the difficulty significantly.
Imagine that. It's pretty difficult because there are a lot of enemies in the game that just run at you.
Yes, there are. Yes, that makes things quite tricky. But yeah, no, it's been good. Alongside that, they kind of introduced as like a new area in the hub. Of course, it being the Division, they couldn't do a patch without adding some more currencies to the game because it doesn't have enough.
No,
so there's a global event currency.
No,
that allows you to buy like global event caches.
Loot boxes.
Yeah,
loot boxes.
No, there's other loot boxes. I'll get to them in a minute.
There are more loot boxes.
Global event caches give you. So there are two flavors. There's like a cheap one and an expensive one. The expensive one gives you guaranteed gear sets with a chance at classified gear set items. Classified gear sets are all the existing gear sets, but with different perks, or like tweaked increased perks.
Please tell me they're not randomized.
No, so it's like, so if you imagine like,
okay, good.
It's the same gear sets, but they've then taken, so like the Striker's set or like the Lone Star set, they've kind of taken the focus of that set and given it a sort of some slightly different perks, and then there's an additional level of perk. I think when you got, because it was like 2 items, 4 items, 6 items, they've now gone 2, 4, 5, 6, so you get an additional one. Okay. And the like alt perk for the full set is different as well.
That was the worst part of the Division for me, was like the randomized perks on guns, like and until they patched it so you could then change 2 of the perks. Mm-hmm. No, was it 2 or just one? It was one of the perks, wasn't it? Before that, fuck me, like that was so. But
the gear sets have always had set perks, though. Yeah, to be fair.
Yeah, that's
the
true.
Green sets.
But my thought of like,
imagine
randomizing those gear set perks. Like,
oh yeah, no, God, that would be
nope.
Yes, I think there's a new level of gear sets. The global war, so it's an event that runs for a week. Literally every activity you do in the game can drop this like global event currency, and there are five activities marked on the map in purple, which are like designated global event kind of missions. So this week there was 4 missions, and one of the incursions was marked as global event specific, which obviously provides you with more, rather rewards you with more of the currency if you complete it. So yeah, I managed to get through all 5 events, even the incursion, with just a match-made group and no communications. We did Dragon's Nest. We didn't even wipe. It was amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm guessing it must have been nerfed.
Like, no. Everyone kind of vaguely knew what they were doing.
Do you
actually, maybe we did wipe at the 4 Horsemen. Having said that, I don't know if you were still around.
I did run Dragon's Nest once. That was the one with the helicopter, right?
No. That was Clear Skies, I think. Dragon's Nest, there's it's a cleaner based one. There's 2 like main encounters. One, you get on top of like a parking garage, and there's these 4 heavy cleaners called the 4 Horsemen that come out, which are like, they are like ridiculous bullet sponges, and there's 4 of them, and you have to take them down. So yeah, they were a lot of fun. And then the last part of the mission, you're in like the basement, and there's a fire engine firing missiles at you.
Oh, good.
And it kind of fires mortars, and it kind of comes in waves, and every now and again it sets the entire floor on fire.
Nice.
And so everyone drops like the heal stations with immunity, and you just kind of sit there and go, please let the fire run out before this heal station does. And there's a series of switches. You basically have to move this massive water tank that's on a crane on the ceiling, and there's like 2 switches. There's 3 or 4 sets of these 2 switches like down the room, and it kind of goes in kind of waves. So you have to kind of go and hit the switches at the same time. So yeah, there's a bit of coordination going on. So yeah, the fact that we pulled it off with no mics.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was
Impressive.
fun.
Well
Yeah, we got through it. Yeah, and I got my stuff. But yeah, so aside from all the classified gear sets and the global events, yes, they finally added actual premium loot boxes to buy with real money. But it's only for cosmetics.
Okay.
So they haven't gone.
Good.
Yeah, they haven't gone.
Good.
Gone the evil
I'm okay
route.
with this.
Yeah.
I'm okay with this.
And yeah, there's some of the stuff's cool. There's a lot. So most of the stuff you unlock, is weapon skins, backpack skins, and then all the different vanity items. And they basically created vanity item sets based on the gear sets. So there's like a reclaimer vanity item set.
Oh, okay.
Like
So is this like, have they introduced like a transmog system where like?
Well, no, because they've always had the vanity items, which you define you define your look with the vanity items.
Oh yeah, of course.
So these are just more of the vanity items, but they've kind of based them around the gear sets.
That's cool.
Yeah, and there's kind of tiers. So there's like legendary like helmets and whatnot to unlock, and
Okay.
epic pants.
Pay to win for pants.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's all cosmetic stuff, and they are kind of alongside that. And one of the ways you get the in-game currency by playing the game, they've done this like commendations system, which is like an in-game like achievements thing. If you think about the kind of style of achievements that you get in something like World of Warcraft, where there's like just hundreds of them for doing like all sorts of like random stuff in the game,
stupid things.
and so they kind of, when you logged in at 1.7, they retroactively apply commendations to your account. So I was able to like, I logged in and I could open like 10 loot boxes straight off the bat because I'd accrued like a bunch of currency, which was cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've opened another couple since just by playing stuff. Yeah, it's it's a fun little extra thing. So, and then the only other key thing they've added, which is actually I didn't think I was going to use, but I found myself using it, is loadouts. And they've done it.
Okay.
Not only have they finally added loadouts, but they've done it in a really, really good way. In the way that when you set a loadout, it's all the mods and everything is saved as such. So you can go and then fuck around and put different mods on weapons. But then if you go back and reapply the loadout, all the mods and stuff are
that's good.
Preserved.
I like that. I have a lot of time for that.
So yeah, so I've actually I've kind of got an LMG kind of loadout, and then I've got like an SMG loadout that I can now switch between quite happily. And
that's really good.
I'd say I didn't think loadouts was something I wanted.
I mean, it's good that they developed this feature that people were asking about 2 years ago. Yeah, it's it's really good.
Yeah, that's the good points. Obviously, yeah, the Division's a bone of contention for a lot of people.
How many bugs did you find? How many flaws did you fall through?
I hit one bug. What was I doing? I did do a mission. Oh, hang on. No, I'm actually thinking of Warframe. Ignore that.
Excellent. I had an interesting bug in Warframe actually. When we get on the Warframe topic, because I had a really interesting bug in Warframe last week, where I couldn't melee attack because I'd attacked.
Really?
Yeah, I'd attacked so quickly that I couldn't use my melee attack anymore. Yeah, it was like rubber banding. It was really interesting. Yeah,
but yeah, so yeah, I don't know. Like the Division, like they started really strong, and everyone thought it was going to be like the big Destiny killer. It was like the big new looter shooter on the scene.
It was.
And like they were doing everything right. They were doing like these weekly live streams with the community. Like, because one of the things, even still now, Bungie, like their community interaction isn't.
Oh, it's awful.
Amazing.
It's awful, but it always has been. Cause it's Bungie. Like
so,
it was for all the Halo games as well.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's one of the things the Division did really well. Like their community interaction was really great. The problem is, like, they released this game 6 months before it needed to be released. Like, that's the biggest problem.
Well, I mean, and the other problem was, certainly for the first 6 to 8 months, every patch they put out made it considerably worse.
It riddled
like,
bugs.
Not even like a couple of things broke. They put out a patch, and it just made the game like almost unplayable in some states.
Let's be real. There was one patch that broke the game, that ruined the game.
Yeah.
And that was the
Was that
introduction of the first raid. Or the
Yes.
first incursion, sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it took them 2 months to fix the bug where you could just keep doing the incursion and getting maximum loot. So people were getting like literally a year's worth of loot, like a year's worth of weekly rewards in a week.
Yeah.
You know, so people were like,
I remember,
I think it was
like,
224. Was
not
the
only that,
maximum.
but you could glitch into the area.
Yeah, from the back.
To
Yeah.
stop it triggering properly.
Yeah.
And then I think even in that same patch there was I think that was the patch that introduced the crit damage stack bug.
Oh yeah.
That was
Oh my.
just
Where you could just like, if you did what is it you had to do? Oh, you had to use your crit buff med the stim
the med
pack,
station, yeah.
but not finish it. You
Yeah.
just cast it and then change weapon. And
But
then cast it,
yeah,
change weapon.
but
and
the
it would
buff
ramp up
would
the
stack,
multiplier.
and people were
Yeah.
doing like 5 million damage with
Yeah.
it. It was
That
just,
was insane.
I think in fact, because I think once that sort of bug was discovered, people were like two-shotting the boss in the incursion.
Yeah, exactly.
Which was ridiculous because you could.
Because they would spend 10 minutes with 4 people stood on top of each other doing this stim pack buff.
Yeah.
And then they would just be like, bang, bang.
And it was dead. So there was a lot of stuff they broke.
It's a shame.
The Dark Zone was not very fun for a long time. Again, towards the end of last year when they introduced, they added the new areas like Dark Zone 789. Again, that patch made it better. It gave some new areas. I think the problem was probably by that time a lot of people had already moved on.
The community was already done, wasn't it? Like the people that came from Destiny went straight back. They were like, yeah, okay, I'm done with this.
So I don't know. Yeah, so I mean, for me, like I say, I like to dip into it, and I do enjoy playing it, but they definitely kind of let the side down on the longevity of the game, and I think they kind of hurt a lot of the goodwill they set up at the beginning.
Yeah,
with a lot of the issues.
It's a shame because they did have a really good idea. Like let's fingers crossed Division 2.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if it's in development. I mean, there's been rumours it's in development. There's been no official word. They were, I mean, is it Massive? They were behind. I can't
Massive,
remember.
yeah.
Studio, yeah. It was announced earlier. I think it was earlier this year that they're like the majority of them are now working on Avatar MMO or whatever hell it is that they're making. So, and there was something.
Fair enough, really.
There was apparently on the Ubisoft financial call. It was mentioned that a big AAA title had been dropped, which some people assumed was Division 2. So whether they're working on it or not, we like literally don't know. It'd be nice if they did do a sequel and kind of like were able to correct a lot of the stuff that they kind of messed up the first time around, because as we keep saying, it was a good game. The story campaign, that was the thing. A lot of the complaints I hear about it were really enjoyed the story campaign. You kind of get to the end of the story campaign and it just becomes a mess.
It becomes a grind, doesn't it? It's like, well,
it's not even a grind.
I need that gun, so I've got to do this thing again and again and again and again. Like that was probably the worst part. The thing I really loved about Division was the customization, like because you could fully customize your gear. Like I had a healing loadout, which was my skill power was like 10,000. It was something dumb. Like, do you remember there was a healing armor set? Well, I got that, and like my heal station would just keep people alive. Like it was really cool.
Yeah, I remember playing with you because you had the pulse and stuff as well, which was like ridiculous damage.
Just crit damage, yeah. Yeah, so I really liked the fact that you had different play styles. That was really great. I mean, I don't know. I'd be interested to play it again, but I think I think I would do what you did. Play it for a week and then. Yeah,
I mean they haven't said what's coming in 1.8, so you never know. Maybe some new story content. Fingers crossed. Yeah. I mean they did, like I say, back at the beginning of the year when they did the anniversary stream, they were like, a lot of people are asking for story content. It's like, yeah,
really?
No shit. So maybe they'll pull something out the bag and surprise us with some new missions. But yeah, I'm not getting my hopes up too high. Yeah. So yeah, I might dip in a little bit more. I might see what next week's global event is, because it will, like, the modifiers change each week.
Sounds interesting. Let's have a chat about that next week as well. And let us know if it was any good, or
So
if you got bored.
The Division, old Division. We love to hate you.
You're going to ask me what I've been playing.
What have you been playing, Perry? I'm dreading asking this question because I know what's coming.
So there are actually two things I want to talk about today. So I've been playing RuneScape, but like I've been investing serious hours into RuneScape. Like, yeah, basically, I spent the majority of late last week, and it was the majority of last week just farming resources and stuff and supplies that I needed. So basically, my account is at a point now where I'm starting to do like the big bosses in the game. So I took on. There's a boss in the game called Zulrah, and it's basically this like solo boss. It's basically a giant snake, and it's in this arena. And every time it submerges, it comes back with a different attack style, but like it randomizes each time. So there are some set patterns, but like I'm nowhere near close to learning them yet. But like, so the early part of last week, I was just gathering my supplies, like doing a bunch of fishing and getting the achievement diaries done. And there were certain items that I needed, so I got all that shit done. And then on Saturday, I started fighting this thing. Fuck my life! Like it is just the most ball ache of a boss to kill, man. Like.
Nice.
I must have died about 50 times before I got like my first official kill.
So this isn't like a raid or something. This is just like a world boss type thing. Or was like for the non RuneScapers.
The non RuneScapers. So there's an account type. In the game called Iron Man, and this basically makes you a solo player. Like it stops. Right. It means that you can't trade with other players and you can't use the Grand Exchange. So it's a big thing. So everything that you get, you have to earn yourself by killing bosses, and you know.
Okay.
For a lot of players, it's like the main feature because it's kind of like there's a real sense of achievement in killing a boss that's designed for 10 people on your own. Like, so they introduced an actual raid system where like it's designed for between 5 to 50 players, where like you go through different floors and then you get to the last boss, and it's the hardest boss in the game. People like on the first day of that release, people were soloing it. They were like, "I'm gonna do this on my own." Like,
wow!
But people were actually doing it as well. It was really cool. So that's been like learning this boss and like the mechanics and stuff. Like it's super punishing. Like every time it submerges, you have to change your gear and change your prey styles. So like if you misclick, you fucked up. Like you might as well teleport out and go back in and try again. Like it's super punishing. Like it has a poison effect as well. Like if you stand in this little gas cloud, you take like 10 ticking damage every 0.2 seconds. Like it's so punishing. But yeah, I'm absolutely.
So how did you get on with it?
So I spent about 6 hours just dying to this boss. Like I got really lucky. So my second kill I got after having the same rotation like 10 times. So I learnt that rotation really well. And then I got the kill. And I was just like, yeah, fucking sweet. That was great. I go back in, different rotation. And it was back to square one. Wipe. Like, yeah, it was so tough. But yeah, I'm at a point now where like the last 10 kills that I've got were back-to-back kills. So without dying. So nice. I'm picking it up slowly. I need to get to a point now where I'm actually memorizing and learning the patterns. So I use this little, it's a website called zulrahguide.com, and it's literally just like this narrow little strip where you click the first and second colours, and then it gives you the rest of the pattern. So then you can see. So I'm like, next is going to be green, and I need to be over here. Next is going to be red, and I need to be over here. Like,
nice.
Yeah. So, but even using that, it's really tough because I have to focus on the game, but then like check and be like, all right, I need to move over. All right. The fuck, poison. Damn, move back. Like I moved too soon. Yeah, so that's been like the majority of my time sink, which is really cool. I'm really invested in it now. I checked my total experience. Do you want to take a guess at how much experience I've earned since November last year, which is when I started this account?
I couldn't even begin to guess.
76 million experience.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of experience.
It's pretty good.
I'm
pretty happy with it. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, but ironically, I'm still not even halfway.
Wow.
Yeah. So the halfway point to all of the skills is level 73? 73 or 72? I think it's 73. So it takes 14 million experience to get to level 99, and to level 92 level 92 is 7 million. So like 7 million to 92, and then 7 million to 99.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. The curve just goes.
turns into a cliff face.
So I've still got a big grind ahead of me, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I didn't think I would like take to this game as much as
Oh,
I have.
really?
Yeah. Well, I only picked it up because it was nostalgia. I was like,
Yeah.
all right, yeah.
Because
I'll
at
fuck
the
with this for a
time
little bit.
you were big into WoW. I
See,
remember.
this is the reason I started playing it, because
Yeah.
WoW fell off for me. So like my guild were in a state where it was like coming up to Christmas holidays, and my guild typically like slows down over that period because they're doing social stuff, and that's really cool. But like I was just like, I found myself logging into WoW and just standing in Dalaran, just being like, just playing with my little Thrash and Crash and robot,
taking in the sights.
Yeah, that's literally it.
People watching.
So I was just like, oh, fuck it, I'm gonna, I started watching a few RuneScape streams. I watched a streamer called MMORPG. His name's Curtis, but he's like a solo PVMer as well. Like his Iron Man account is just insane. I love it.
So had you played RuneScape? Have you kind of dabbled before?
When I was super young, like when I was like 12, 13.
When you were young, come on.
Yeah. Well, no, I was. I was like, when I started playing in 07 was when they released Old School. So
Wow, that's 10 years ago now.
I think it must have been 2004.
Oh, okay.
When I started my first like RuneScape account. I remember the name. Nightmare 390.
Nice.
Because it was just randomized. I was just like, I don't fucking care. Randomized pick. Log in.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. I'm gonna go slay some dragons. Yeah. So yeah, I played it I played it years and years ago, and I remember just putting like a significant amount of time in, but there was no real like structure or order. Like I didn't have any goals or anything like that. But whereas now, I literally have a spreadsheet with short-term, medium-term, long-term goals.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow,
like,
that is very organised.
Yeah, but so it's the type of game where you have to, because there's no linear story. Like it's not
Right.
you log in and there's no go to this person, talk to this person, do this. Like there are a list of quests you can do, and then you get that, kind of get that experience, and it's like, all right, go do this part next, go do this part now. But like you can do, there are like 24, I'm sorry if I got that wrong, 24 skills in the game that you can level in any order you want. Like there's nothing stopping you literally logging in, buying a fishing rod, and just fishing until level 99.
And doing nothing else.
Yeah, doing nothing else. Like, in fact, there are people on Reddit that have done specifically that. Like, there's a guy on Reddit that is 99 in all skills that aren't combat skills. So he's still level 3 combat, but all of his, like, fletching, woodcutting, mining, smithing, you know, they're all 99.
So talking about leveling in random ways, it just reminded me of a thing I read. I think I read it on Reddit this morning, on the Destiny Reddit. So a guy waiting for Destiny 2, as we all are. He decided to delete one of his characters.
I saw this.
He hit like max light level 400 without firing a gun in the game.
Oh,
the
okay.
same one you
No,
saw?
there's a different video. I saw the world record. The guy that got 0 to 400 in like 20 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
How is that even possible?
Fucking stupid.
Yeah,
Like-
no, it definitely wasn't. Yeah, so he hit the max light level without firing a gun.
How? Was he just collecting resources and stuff?
No, so it was all grenades, supers.
Oh, so he was doing the missions, but
Yeah, and
that's so cool.
And because he is not even allowing himself to matchmake with other people that would fire guns, he was having to solo all the strikes with grenades and
I have
supers.
so much time for that. This reminds me of
Yeah,
the story.
he was saying like, you know, a regular strike would take him like an hour and a half,
Because he has to like throw a grenade.
and then wait for it to recharge.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
What class do you play for that?
I think he was playing Titan was
I
shoulder
suppose he
charge.
has to, yeah.
So
Of
you got
course.
So you got the melees, grenades, and supers. Yeah, but yeah. Sorry, just
That's
tangent.
that's
It just
really
reminded
funny.
me.
You actually reminded me of a story. So there was a guy, when Mr. Pandaria released, there was a guy
Yes, I do know this one.
that leveled to 100
Yeah,
factionless
yeah.
on the starting area just by collecting resources.
I remember because he was streaming it.
I was
and
like,
at
what?
the end, he had like just hordes of people following him around the map.
Because he was
like,
just like
egging him
mining
on.
and
Yeah.
herbing.
Yeah,
That was
he had
so
like
good.
he worked out a route of just collecting XP by like picking up
Yeah.
flowers and stuff.
It took him like 8 months or something done. Wasn't it? It was really good. But yeah, anyway, so I've been playing RuneScape. That's been my my go-to this week. What am I kidding? It's my go-to anyway. Like RuneScape is my jam.
Every
That's
time
what
we
I play.
talk to you, it's like, what have you been doing?
basically
Playing RuneScape.
I did, however, want to talk about another game. So I've been
Ooh.
watching. I've been watching King Gothalion.
Gothalion, yeah.
Gothalion. Okay, good. Gothalion and Professor Brosen.
Okay, yeah.
And
I've been
Co
watching,
Carnage.
yeah.
They've all been playing a game called Dauntless.
Yes, I've seen some of this.
So this game looks amazing. and we have to fucking play it when it launches. So it's currently in alpha, and then it hits beta next week.
And it looks like it's an alpha. Let's be fair.
It does. It does look like it's an alpha. Like it's missing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But the concept of it is really cool. It's almost like Monster Hunter.
I was going to say, the first thing that sprung to mind when I've been watching like Gathalion, I was watching T-Rex playing it last night actually as well. It's very in the Monster Hunter sort of genre, if that's the thing.
I mean, the premise of the game is you form a party and go around killing behemoth monsters.
Yeah, like, you just travel. You gear up. You travel to a floating island, kill a big monster. Yeah, that's it.
I mean, I'm hoping, like post alpha, they add a bit more content, like story based content. That would be really cool. But I like this. It's almost like a mix between your standard MMO and Monster Hunter. Yeah. So I loved Monster Hunter when I played the first game a lot.
I mean, I guess it'll be interesting to see how it stacks up against Monster Hunter World, which is just obviously coming out next year.
Yeah, that's true actually.
Which is kind of going to be doing this idea of like the kind of almost MMO-y style.
I think they're both kind of niche. Like the thing I like about Dauntless is the art style. It's so pretty. Like it does look really cool. It's actually that Firewatch Virginia style,
sort of slightly cel shaded kind of.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's great.
Cartoony cel shaded.
What they need to do before launch is implement way more armor and gear sets, like weapon and gear sets, because I was watching the four play it and they all look the same, and I was like, other than the weapons that they were using. So there was one guy with like a heavy mace, one guy with a heavy blade, and then one guy with like quick swords.
Yeah, because I've only seen a little. I've only kind of dipped into some streams that are playing it. I've seen 2 or 3 different classes, but I'm not entirely up on what the class. There's one guy. There's like a hammer dude, a sword dude, and then there's a dude with like 2 little like daggery things
axes,
on chains. Axey daggery things on chains that you got to throw. He looked really cool. I liked him.
Yeah. There are definitely. It's definitely a game that I'm going to be keeping my eye on in the next coming months. I think I'm going to it's currently in
so it's like closed alpha.
It's in closed alpha. They're calling it the founders stage. So basically, if you want to play, you need to donate to the company. Like if you want to get in, you can buy into the closed alpha.
Oh wow! Okay.
Which is cool. I mean, there's another game that's done that. Ashes of Creation.
Okay,
Let's actually.
That's a whole
different episode. I'm going to talk about that next week. That's going to be my feature game for next week. Because that game looks fucking dope.
I'd be interested. Yeah, I remember that being on Kickstarter. I'd be interested to see where that's got to.
That in like 24 hours, that tripled its goal.
Yeah,
like it was huge. But anyway, so Dauntless is my probably my feature for this week. Thinking about it, my pick of the week. Yeah, if you've got a free hour or two, watch
some people
roasting or co-partners play. Yeah, you can't play it, but when it hits beta, I want to sign up for beta because I would love to get my hands on it.
What's it coming out on? Do you know?
All consoles.
Oh, it's on consoles.
Yeah, it's on consoles and PC.
Okay. I thought I was expecting it to be.
Co and others were playing it on PC.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure it's coming out on consoles.
Crossplay?
No crossplay. Doubtful.
No crossplay. Yeah. I guess my pick of the week. New section we just invented. Pick of the week.
Sure, our feature, I suppose, is what we call it. Feature game.
It's a game I've been very excited about since I saw it revealed last year. And with Gamescom, which we'll get onto in a minute, the Gamescom trailer for it, they finally announced a release date. And the game is called Ruiner. It's a very heavily stylized, really cool looking game.
It's a twin stick, isn't it?
Yeah, it's called Ruiner. It's being published by Devolver, who put out a lot of cool games. It's coming out on the 26th of September on PC and consoles. And it's like a twin stick, almost. The gameplay is isometric-y, not quite isometric. It's like a top-down-y kind of.
Yeah, it's a top-down twin stick, isn't it? I'm not gonna lie. I saw the trailer and I was just like, "That's Nex Machina." It's like a less neon.
Yeah.
Next Machina.
I mean, one of the things that really draws, like the style of it, is like the art style and the kind of atmosphere that they put in. It looks so cool.
The thing that I really liked about it,
it's very much like a Blade Runner meets Akira kind of vibe.
The thing that I really liked about it was the narration.
Yes,
Like
yeah,
there seems to be like this
some
female narrator that's kind of following you, like
egging you on.
yeah, egging you on and being like,
go kill these people.
you want to do it?
You know you want to.
Like I kind of like it. I think the story campaign is gonna be pretty cool there.
Yeah,
That's-
I hope they've got an interesting story wrapped up in there, 'cause it could be quite a little special little title.
Yeah, that would be cool.
It's kind of reminiscent. I posted it, the video of Runa in our clan chat, Destiny clan chat, in our kind of other games earlier today, and one of the guys piped up. He's like, might be showing my age a bit here. This really reminds me of a game called Crusader No Remorse. Now you may have, no, you haven't heard this. This was a game from early mid 90s, which again was like, it was a really fucking good game, and you kind of played this dude who was in this bright red kind of like armored. It was almost like PVC armor. He kind of looked like he was wearing. It was kind of weird looking. He kind of looked like the Emperor's Guards from Star Wars, but without the cape.
Okay.
So it was just like plastic, like bright red armor, and you kind of going around these industrial environments, like shooting people. And yeah, it's like I totally get the vibe, and yeah, it was a really cool game. But yeah, it's kind of funny that it kind of evoked memories of
Do
this.
you know how old I was when this game?
Really don't.
No. Okay. I'm going to tell you. I was probably like 3 years old.
Yeah, that's terrifying. But Runa. I'm really excited they've finally announced the release date,
Which is
26th of September.
That's really cool. That's really soon.
Go check out the videos because the art style is nuts.
We're going to play the fuck out of that game.
I am. Yeah.
Speaking of Gamescom, let's hit the news section with dicks. This has been so interesting. I'm so excited for what's been happening.
Yeah,
talk.
the funny thing is, like, I think Gamescom officially starts tomorrow.
Yeah, it does.
But there's already been like
so much stuff.
They've already announced. There's already been so much news come out of it. Christ, where do we even start? I mean, let's kind of start. I made lots of notes during the Xbox thing, which kind of kicked stuff off on Sunday night.
Tell me what Xbox.
It wasn't a full conference like the things we see at E3. It was kind of more of a studio affair. So it's like a few. They had a bunch of presenters in the studio, kind of interviewing the odd dev and playing some trailers. Not, to be fair, not a huge amount in the way of like big reveals. There's a few kind of mini reveals.
Kind of makes sense. Like, it's not started yet.
Yeah, but I think because it was kind of, it was Xbox's thing, there might be an announcement. I mean, the main thing they announced right at the very end was the Scorpio edition of the Xbox X.
What?
So because. Okay, so you hadn't heard of this. So this actually leaked like 2 days before, so it wasn't a big surprise to anybody. But there's like a day one Xbox One X edition, which is they've branded as Project Scorpio, because everyone loved the Scorpio name and were a bit sad when it kind of got renamed to Xbox One X. They've gone, okay, we're going to do a day one thing that's branded with Project Scorpio. All that means, in reality, is it's got a little bit of green text on the front of the console and on the controller.
This is gonna be a fucking stamp.
And it's got like a different kind of finish on the actual console. It's got this. It actually looks pretty cool. It's kind of like a gradiated black to grey kind of like etched kind of finish, right. And you get a free vertical stand with it as well, which would cost you $20 elsewhere. But yeah,
thanks Xbox.
Yeah, they're doing. But yeah, that was like supposed to be the big thing, and the fact that they've opened pre-orders.
I need to open pre-orders because a couple of my buddies have pre-ordered. Have you done it?
Yeah, might have done a cheeky pre-order.
Of course you did.
I wasn't that fussed about getting the Scorpio edition, but I do want the console itself. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Like, you are a console gamer, aren't you?
It is my.
That's your primary. Next gen. You're going to get to my level of gameplay.
Yeah, PC master race, blah blah blah.
Hey man, console gamers needed the Scorpio 2 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the other good thing the other thing they released along with that is they put out a list of like 100 odd games that are going to be enhanced. Either
back catalog.
It's a mixture of upcoming stuff and already released stuff. So
That's really good.
you've got already released stuff like Witcher. Division was actually on the list, funnily enough.
Okay.
Forza Horizon 3, Halo 5.
Forza's going to be so good.
Yeah, so a lot of the big titles you'd expect, plus, the stuff going forward like the Crackdown, and I think Sea of Thieves was on there, and other stuff that I can't think of off the top of my head. But yeah, there's like 100 odd games on this list that are going to be
That's cool.
Xbox One X enhanced, which it kind of needs.
It's good that they are not pulling a Nintendo and being like, here's a new console and one game you can play.
Yeah, but I think the whole thing when they announced the S and kind of originally announced the Scorpio, they kind of said like it's still an Xbox One, like, and if you buy an Xbox One game, it will work on any of the family of consoles, and they're not intent on changing that. Like they've said there won't be specific games for the X. I think because they don't see it as a mainstream machine. The specs of it, the price point, like all point is the hardcore enthusiast machine, the same way the kind of Pro was for the PS4 Pro. Like it's not necessarily aimed at mass market. Like a 450 quid price point is not like a mass market price point.
Yeah, of course. I mean, this is for the elite console gamers, like the people that want the better experience.
Exactly.
I mean, and I'm fully for this.
That's why they can't gate games to it. They can't release games that are only playable.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's doing that. Like gating games behind this incredibly expensive console will be their downfall. Like,
that would be stupid.
Yeah, I'm really happy at the fact that they're going to run Scorpio alongside One X alongside.
Yeah, the S and the original.
Yeah. That's good.
So yeah, I mean that was the big stuff. I mean they announced. I mean I'll just rattle through a bunch of stuff. They've announced that Microsoft are now publishing PUBG on Xbox. They've done a deal with.
Okay.
So they've done a deal with Brendan Green and his gang of coding monkeys. That's probably a bit unfair. But yeah, so Microsoft are now the official publishing people behind PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds for Xbox. So it means that like the team behind it are getting sort of Microsoft's full development support, and you can kind of understand why. I'd imagine they want that game to be a success on console.
Yeah, that's fucking huge. I mean, it's
given they have it as exclusivity and it's one of the biggest games in the world right now.
Well, no,
they want to get it right.
It is literally the biggest game in the world. It is the most streamed game on Twitch currently.
Yeah. So I'd imagine. It's no surprise that Microsoft are throwing their weight behind it and going like, we need to make sure this works on console. What else did we have on my wonderful list? Oh yeah, one of the things that was announced, which it was a smaller thing, but it's quite cool when I kind of looked into it. Jurassic World Evolution.
So this is the roller coaster tycoon. Jurassic Park.
So they kind of just played the trailer and didn't say a huge amount more about it. It was more of a CG trailer, but it was like build your own Jurassic World.
And then let the dinosaurs loose and let them fucking eat everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I hope we can do that.
But it wasn't until afterwards that it was kind of revealed that Frontier was the company behind developing it, who earlier this year was it this year or was it last year? I think it was last year, Planet Coaster, which was very well received. So the fact that they're behind this new Jurassic Park theme park come up is very promising. And instantly kind of piqued a lot of people's interest. Sorry, my throat's going.
Yeah, do it.
Getting very croaky.
It's piqued my interest for sure.
It's due to drop with the next film next year, unsurprisingly. So they're going to be tying in with Jurassic World 2.
That kind of bothers me, but fine. But yeah.
Yeah, it's not a surprise.
No, it's not a surprise.
Marketing.
But
other stuff. Age of Empires 20th anniversary.
Age of Empires 4.
Yeah, and then since then, we've had the Age of Empires 4 announcement. That's also exciting because it's got a solid developer behind it. Age of Empires 4 has been announced that Relic Entertainment is going to be developing it.
Yep, that's right.
They are the people behind such awesome games like Homeworld and Dawn of War. So again, like they're sort of resurrecting this RTS franchise, which has been dormant for I think it's I think I'm right in saying 13 years since Age of Empires 3. I think I
Well,
remember.
yeah. So we had. Yeah, shit. Even like Age of Mythology was old.
But yeah, so yeah, solid developer with good pedigree, bringing back a much beloved RTS franchise. I remember the original of Age of Empires. I sunk a lot of time into that.
I did as well. Well, Age of Empires 2 was my jam. Age of Kings. That was like.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see what they do with it.
I was the kid that came into history class and was just like, well, actually, miss, Joan of Arc. And she was like, how the fuck do you know all this? And I'm like, because I play video games.
Yeah, so they did like a big reveal trailer, which was all just kind of... It was really nice. It was quite nicely done, actually. I don't know if you watched it. It was kind of...
I did, yeah, actually.
It was all kind of arty and narrated by none other than Tywin Lannister, which was a nice touch.
I knew I knew the voice.
Yeah, Charles Dance, who lives around here somewhere. I've seen him wandering around.
Don't lie.
I have.
Don't lie.
Stood next to him at the traffic lights. 100%.
We're going to talk about this after we finish recording.
Rachel's in me.
We're going to go find him.
He was there. He was looking very cash. But yeah, no, he's around somewhere. We'll have to hunt him down afterwards.
You don't. I can't express how excited I am by this news. This is probably the best. This is better than Gamescom news.
And there's a lot of that. There's just reading again, going through the list of
this is the Xbox stuff.
Yeah, still the Xbox stuff. The World of Tanks is getting a single player campaign.
I don't like World of Tanks.
And user created tournaments and 4K sport. More Xbox system stuff. There's a new dashboard coming, which I'm excited about because I'm not a fan of the current one. So I'm looking forward to the update.
I bet they just go back to what the old one was.
It's now the home screen will be all contained in one screen, and you can add other sections, as many or as little sections to the bottom.
So you could almost say it's like the Windows 10.
Yeah, I guess so.
Start window.
So you can basically pin other players or games or clubs to your like home and kind of stack up stuff. So that's kind of cool.
Kind of makes sense that they're bringing it all.
They announced a light theme, so it doesn't have to be all black anymore. You can have a white Xbox home dashboard thing.
Cool.
Because it's like black by default, and people apparently really wanted a light version. Yeah,
okay.
Whatever. Another exciting thing, Sea of Thieves, which we're kind of both looking forward to.
Give me that game.
Crossplay between PC and console.
We can play together, Ed.
We can play. So that's really cool. Actually, they had a couple of the devs there who were talking about it. They've been running it. One of the guys was saying like he was playing on his console at home, and a couple of the guys were in the studio playing on PCs, and he's like it was kind of a magical feeling the first time we did it, and it's kind of that's really good news actually.
Does it have in-game voice comms? It must do.
Well, I mean, if it's on the Xbox platform, it's probably covered by parties. So you imagine on PC you will have to run it through the Xbox app. So it must be covered.
That makes
it must be covered by the whole Xbox party thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, so that's really
we're gonna play so much of that game. You know that,
right? Yeah, it should be. It's very silly. It looks like it could be a lot of fun.
I'm excited to shoot you out of the cannon.
I look forward to it.
It's gonna throw that out there.
No euphemisms needed. Cuphead was shown off again. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the interesting things. Well, from my point of view, that was the interesting stuff from the Xbox thing.
Good.
Outside of Xbox, what else has been going on? One of the big things, I think I posted this to you. It kind of leaked slightly ahead of time.
Yeah, it did.
A new game called Biomutant, which is coming out of THQ Nordic, which is sounding very interesting and kind of a game that's right up our streets. And it's like an open worldy looter shooter.
I looked at this and I was like, yeah, we're going to play this.
Yeah, so if you haven't heard of Biomutant yet, and you like your looty shooty open worldy things, this is a slightly different take on it, and that it's all about little furry creatures. Well, I say little furry creatures. Lifting a sort of quote directly from the sort of press releasey thing. In the game, you play the kind of creature that you play. In all the press shots they put out so far, the creature is like a little raccoon cat type thing. But the press release saying you can learn new abilities and kind of perks and stats and things by like mutating yourself. And you can mutate yourself to like grow claws
and wings and shit.
or wings, or you can affix like robotic limbs to yourself.
I didn't hear about that.
That sounds one of the things. Yeah, it said like you can stick a robotic leg on. So it sounds like it's there could be some quite deep customization in this. It'd be interesting to see whether it's kind of like a classless thing where you literally just kind of
mishmash
create.
Yeah,
you kind of create the character that kind of suits your play style, and kind of like you kind of pick the abilities and mutations and parts that kind of enable you to play the game that you want to play. So we know it's going to be open worldy kind of grindy looty thing.
Yeah, I'm about this. We need to check this out.
But it's the thing that's kind of setting it apart is this kind of mutation system and the art style. The fact that it's a slightly different thing, because obviously we have like Destiny and Division and Anthem, and they're all kind of very sci-fi, very kind of like serious, gritty to like an extent. So the fact that this is like little furry animals with mutations, and it's kind of quite bright and colourful from what we've seen so far. So it's definitely something to be keeping.
Yeah,
I'll be keeping.
Yeah, definitely. Anyone tuning into Gamescom, go look at it. Go use your eyes, peep it, because it looks pretty cool.
Other stuff coming out of the Gamescom that hasn't started yet. Blizzard have announced.
Yes.
They've already announced some stuff, but they actually have another announced stream scheduled for tomorrow night.
This is
people listening to this later. That'll be the Wednesday. They've got like a full reveal. I think it's an 2-hour reveal slot planned.
This is Hearthstone, right?
No. I think a lot of people are expecting.
WoW expansion.
Yeah,
this is WoW expansion.
But they've already announced a new map for Overwatch,
yeah.
which called
Junktown.
Junkerstown.
Junkerstown.
It's got junk and town in it. And it's basically the kind of home. What will be the home map for Roadhog?
Yeah.
And it looks really cool.
It does look really cool.
The little video they put out, which kind of gives you a little tour of the map, there's some really cool looking.
I was actually before you came round, I was watching Seagull play. He was with one of the devs. I can't remember the guy's name. I feel really bad for not knowing that. He was playing Soldier 76 on the map, and it looks super good. Like there are a couple of opportunities to flank enemies. Some great turret/bastion locations.
The really exciting one was the big spinning room.
The big spinning room, yes.
So a big room with big spinning platforms in the middle, which looks like it could be pretty nuts.
Yeah, it does. It does. It looks like a very good map.
And then the other thing, so this wasn't like an official like release.
Mostly a patch, isn't it?
Well, no, on the
patch notes.
On the it was one of the devs was on the forums, and someone was asking about Diva. And he basically just came out and said, yeah, we've actually changed a bunch of stuff on Diva, and we've had it in testing for a while, and we're kind of happy where it is. So I'm just going to tell you all the changes that we're making, or like proposing to make. I don't think it's on like PTS or anything yet, but they're basically changing Diva. So her like the defense matrix, which is her shield ability that you can put up to block incoming fire. They've increased its kind of like
it's cooldown.
Increase the kind of decharge of it. Or basically, it lasts.
Yeah, they've reduced the uptime. So what have they done? They've reduced the uptime of the defense matrix.
Yeah, so it lasts. It lasts 50% as long as it does currently.
Yeah, and isn't there a longer cooldown as well?
I don't think it's longer cooldown. I think they've just reduced the amount of time it's active. So you have to be a bit more careful about using it.
Okay. I mean, that's for I imagine for high level play, that's going to be pretty game changing. But I think the biggest changes people will see are going to be with
the other stuff that they announced, which was so the kind of jet boost flying around the ability. You're now going to be able to fire your weapons whilst using that, because one of the things they're saying, they wanted Diva to be more aggressive. They wanted it to be more of a frontline tanky kind of get in your face, do stuff. So you can,
and specifically getting Farah's face.
Yes, Farah was mentioned a few times. They really want her to be a counter to Farah. So giving you the ability to fire and fly at the same time would hopefully allow you to do that. Especially with the new ability that she's getting, which is the micro missile barrage, which apparently it was quoted as being a long stream of small missiles with small splash damage. How long that long stream of missiles is yet unknown. But yeah, so it's a new little sort of missile burst ability that again can be used while you're flying. Apparently it can also be fired whilst you're using the main weapons as well. So
that sounds a bit clusterfucky. I wouldn't mind seeing this in action. Like as soon as
it'd be interesting to see how it plays. But yeah, it definitely sounds that they're making Diva more aggressive. So yeah, that's kind of the Overwatch stuff.
That's the interesting stuff out of Gamescom, eh?
So far,
yeah.
I imagine we'll have plenty more to talk about next week.
We should hit up Gamescom again next week, and maybe try and get an overall view of what we really enjoyed and what we didn't.
Yeah, but yeah, there's been a lot of good stuff coming out already.
Yeah, cool. Announcements.
Yeah.
Let's tell people about our special guest next week, Ed.
Yeah, it's going to be it's very exciting. We're having our first guest,
first ever guest
on the
speaker.
podcast.
Yeah.
It's going to be he's a good friend of ours, but he's very well known in the gaming world. It's a guy called Sujoy Roy, who was one of the UK's first kind of
esports competitors. I suppose.
We know them now as esports competitors. Back in the day,
before they were dubbed esports.
Yeah, literally. It's back in the days of like
Quake and stuff.
Yeah, like sort of Quake 2 and Quake 3.
What was Sujoy's actual game?
Quake.
It was Quake. Yeah.
He was the.
We're going to talk more about that.
It was him and Fatality with the two names.
That's right.
So yeah, he was the UK's first official like esports
gamer,
cyber athlete, as they were known.
Cyber athlete
at the time.
That's fantastic.
But yeah, he's now working for ESL, which is obviously big in the esports world. So yeah, we're going to have a chat to him about the wonderful world of esports, find out what he's up to.
Yeah, tune in next week, guys.
So exciting for us to have our first guest.
Definitely.
Nice to have another person to chat to.
For sure, yeah. I think that's a nice little place to wrap.
We've got one more thing.
You
can't forget.
Fuck.
Don't forget, Perry.
I'm not forgetting. I knew exactly what was coming.
You were trying to finish before I'd done my fact.
Damn.
Yeah,
Alright, come on, Ed. Hit me.
My fun fact of the week. My interesting and fun fact, which Perry loves. My fun fact this week is about Pac-Man.
You can't see it, but he's doing this like excited jumpy dance. Like, go, Ed. Go. Tell me.
So, did you know, Perry?
No, I didn't, Ed.
Tell me. The maximum score you can achieve in Pac-Man is 3,333,360 points.
That's for a perfect game.
Yeah. The only way to get that score is, as Perry just said, playing a perfect game of Pac-Man, which means completing all 256 screens, eating every single dot in all the mazes, getting all the blinking
energizers,
pills. Once getting those pills, you have to get every single blue flashing ghost off each of those pills. You have to get all the fruits, and you can't lose a single life. Only 3 people are recorded to have managed this feat.
That's pretty impressive.
It's pretty nuts, like playing a perfect game of Pac-Man.
That's a pretty good record to hold, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Like,
I'd be pretty proud of
that. That would be like a crowning achievement for me.
I'd imagine it takes some preparation.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine getting to like screen 256 and like missing a ghost or a fruit or something.
That must take hours, mustn't it?
You would destroy something.
We'll have to... All right, next week, tell me how long it takes to get...
A perfect...
Or to complete 256 screens of Pac-Man.
All right, I'll challenge accepted. I should look that up for next week.
Excellent. Okay, guys, thank you very much for tuning in this week. I've been Perry.
I've been Ed.
We've been Guys Playing Games. Please tune in next week, Wednesday.
Yeah, we're back on Wednesday.
We're a day earlier today because...
although if you're listening to this...
Yeah, it will still be
in the future.
Time. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Don't know why I said that.
Yeah. But if you do want to check us out doing the recordings live, we do it on Twitch, typically at 8 p.m. on a Wednesday.
8 p.m. on a Wednesday, yep.
You can come and hang out with us while we just chat.
Yeah. Otherwise, hit us up on YouTube or...
check out all the social stuffs, likes, follows.
And go check out Education, where Ed is playing Firewatch.
Yeah, I'm still
playing. We're going to hit episode 4 on Saturday.
It's getting very exciting.
It's getting fucking Larry.
It's
getting good. Okay, guys, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, see you next week.